Maybe this will help. Will this help you?
Don't forget the maybe, baby. Don't forget the maybe, baby.
All I'm saying is we need to get in the studio.
It's showtime.
Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help.
Don't forget the maybe, baby.
What up, bro?
What you came in with the Barry White? What up,
that's the best I can do. I've never been known for having a deep voice. I've never been known, but I'm gonna let you know me tonight. I tell you that.
Well, not me. I don't want to know you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help the podcast. We real heavy on the maybe. We we heavy on the maybe.
Gotta be.
We
maybe it'll traumatize. Who knows?
Maybe it'll traumatize. We got something for you at the end of the podcast if it does that as well. Listen, it's give you that relationship talk that you can relate to. The good, the bad, the alimony, all those good things. Grab your favorite friend, your favorite snack, favorite drink. Sit down with us for about 2 hours and let's have these conversations. Just imagine, you know what I'm saying, sitting outside of the family picnic, sitting in the living room, you know what I'm saying, on a holiday, and just having conversations about things that matter to you in relationship, and everybody just sharing their 2 cents. If this show was called anything else besides Maybe This Will Help the podcast, it'd be called My 2 Cents.
Right. That's a fact.
Yeah, because that's all we're doing is giving our 2 cents. It may work for you, maybe not. Maybe so. If it does work for you, shoot us an email, let us know. If it doesn't work, you know, share some insight with us, something we don't know. We just on here sharing, man. We just on here sharing. That's it, man. What's up with you, bro?
It happens every show. Somebody will put a comment in the comment sections and we'll throw it up, and it's just one of those never looked at it like that before kind of moments. and that's it. It's all perspective. And you know, I feel like if you go through perspective with just only your own, you're doing yourself a disservice. You know what I mean? I feel like you can't walk through life with just tunnel vision. Only my way works. Only my thoughts count. The way I do things is the only way that matters. You're selling yourself short.
I will say this though: we can't entertain everybody's opinion, though.
That's the truth.
Let's start with that. The maybe fact for the day. You know, I was thinking like, man, we should have throughout the podcast if we have a maybe moment. We're having a maybe moment right now. Listen, the people whose opinions you should hold in the highest regard and highest value and actually think about implementing are the opinions that come from the people that you specifically put in your life to give you their 2 cents. Yeah, I know we hear stuff on YouTube. We hear stuff from people who are famous and known, write books and all that kind of stuff. Bring that back to your friend circle, because sometimes insight and guidance is good, generally speaking, but when it gets down to specifics of your calling, your personality, your partner, how you do life, it just doesn't flow as well. So it's always good to take those good things, bring them to your brainstorming team, your circle of friends that you trust, that know you, and you guys talk about that information. Like, yo, I wonder if that will work in my situation. That's the perspective that I believe really help benefit, because there's no shortage of opinions out there in the podcast world. We out here giving ours. Whatever we say, though, you know what I'm saying? Take it to your friends. Say, yo, this is what's circulating. It's so, man, our post that went viral. So many people talking about, I ain't healing. Like, if you still need healing, you don't need to be in a relationship. I'm not healing that part of you. And it may not work for some people. One person put on the post that this is only for people who are willing to love unconditionally. Some people put on the post is that this is for delusional people. Listen, if the shoe fit, then put it on and walk it out. You know what I'm saying? If it don't squeeze it and complain about it. Listen, it ain't for you.
Right. That's a fact. That's a fact. And we've never came on here and said that, you know what I'm saying, what we're saying is gospel, or we're saying it's 100% truth, or whether what we're saying is this has been our truth in the past. These are the things that we've done to either work through it or something like that. We're not here trying to honestly, we're not here trying to change nobody's mind on nothing. I'm not out here trying to change anyone's mind. I'm just speaking my truth and what's worked for me and what hasn't worked for me. And I feel like that's what makes this podcast so dope. Like the transparent and honest energy that we try to give is like, you know, this will work for me. This may be what work for Donnie, and we don't always agree at the end of the day. It's like on the last podcast, I forget what it was, but we weren't even 100% in agreement. But it was like, okay, that's your walk, and this is my walk. That don't mean I'm wrong or you're wrong. It's just different.
Dude, those are the most fun conversations, man. Because you stand to learn something great if you just learn how to be more open-minded, you know, in the right settings. Like that's a great skill to learn. Like you said, if you're narrow-minded walking through this life, yeah, you'll make it, you know what I'm saying? But you're gonna miss out on a lot of enjoyment and a lot of special surprises that could have been waiting for you. So that's my 2 cents, man. You want to check in, bro?
Oh man, my check-in. What a week. Me and Jay started our couples therapy. Our first session was last week. I think it's gonna be good, man. I think it's, you know, as good as our relationship is, I know we still have things that we need to, you know, dig and get to the root of and really figure out. But it's one of those things I can appreciate our relationship because it's like we're willing to put in the work to preserve, to help flourish, to help water and grow the relationship. Not, oh, this is an issue you have, cool, I'm out, or I don't like that about you, cool, I'm out. You know what I mean? It's and this is what I feel like when people say relationships are hard or marriage is hard. I don't really feel like it's that. I feel like it's that the people sometimes don't want to put in the work that it takes to sometimes get over certain humps and get through certain things. You know what I mean? Some people want an easy relationship, and that's great. Some relationships are easy, but some relationships come with little trials, little tribulations that you may have to work your way through. And if you're not willing to put in that work, then all of a sudden, relationships is hard, marriage is hard.
I say it like this. A lot of people who say that relationships are extremely hard, I always advise them in this regard. Maybe if you prepared better, it wouldn't have been so hard for you. I think that anything you aspire to do, anything you aspire to be a part of and be good at and enjoy while you're doing it, there's a necessary preparation that you must self-discipline yourself in. So that when you come to the table, your lack of either skill set, your lack of intention, your lack of training isn't the cause of it being so hard.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's that simple. There are some other complexities that do exist about differences and learning how to do conflict resolution properly or other components, you know what I'm saying? Health issues and other stuff that was unforeseen that you couldn't control. But one thing that you are able to manage and start working on now, if you're looking to get into a relationship, is start working on your growth mindset. Start working on developing a healthy perspective of other people and what you expect of them. Start understanding what's your load to carry in a relationship, and that whatever your partner chooses to do, whether you're dating or marriage, whatever they choose to do is always voluntary. They're not your property. You don't own them, and they don't owe you nothing. Like these are things you can start preparing yourself to understand, so that when things happen, you have a very healthy perspective of, oh, this is happening because they didn't sign up for my dream come true. We both died to ourselves to create something new. Maybe it's so challenging because you're insisting on your way, and that's not what they signed up for, right? So that's something to think about.
That's interesting you said that, because we also had a conversation. It was a joking kind of conversation we had this week, but it was something she was doing, and she was like, well, why did I got to do it? I said, well, you the admin in a relationship and I'm the labor. You know what I mean? Because it's that, you know, it's always been like that with us in our relationship. She's done the administration stuff and I've done the labor stuff. Not saying that those roles never change or can't change, but you know what I mean? Those are the roles that I feel like we excel in.
Interesting. Is there ever, let me ask you a question, is there ever any room for those to swap?
Oh yeah, all the time. Because sometimes I ain't got the labor part. Sometimes she
you
ain't got
also, let me ask you, so if it was if it was potentially to swap for some random reason, have you watched it closely enough to be able to sufficiently admin if needed?
Yeah, I think so. And a lot of that is pretty much, you know, oh, I know this is how she does things when she does it, and really paying attention and being a student, I feel like, of your partner. You know what I mean? Because sometimes your partner might not even, you might come home and she might not even have it in her to tell me, you know, I need you to do X, Y, Z. But that's where that knowing your partner is, okay, something's off. Let me get dinner tonight, or something's off. Let me make this call or set this appointment, or something's off. Let me just bring in the trash cans for him because I know he had a, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Stuff that if you really are a student of your partner will be easier to pick up on.
Be a student and be present. Yeah, start.
Yeah, being present. Yeah,
I think it's like when you come home, are you looking for opportunities to be a partner? I think sometimes, even like when we go to work, where this is not even work, this is just in life in general. You can't fulfill a role that you're not actively looking to fulfill. Like if you go to work and you're going into work, but your focus is on responding to text messages and checking emails that are non-work related, you're in your role, but you're really not in your role. You're not present to your role. And I think sometimes people come home, but they're still gone. They're still at work. Yes. They're still at the club. They're still at the gym. They haven't fully brought their full selves there. So they can't fully operate as a partner in that space because they're not fully there.
Yeah, that's true.
And that can be problematic. That's all I'm saying. I know it happens to us. I do it too, but
100%. 100%. We have to check ourselves and get into this monotonous day-to-day. I come home, we do a how was your day, but is it a really an engaged how was your day, or was it this is what we say to each other when we come home because it's nice and I care about your day, but am I really asking to really get a gauge on how you feeling, or am I just asking because this is routine? And you gotta, in relationships, you gotta check yourself and you gotta stay on point and, like you said, stay present and not just let the day kind of dictate how you treat your partner or interact with your partner.
I think that if we're talking about people having hard relationships and how to make them less hard, how to make them operate with a little bit more ease, developing a skill set of like emotional intelligence. I think situational awareness. I think things like that really help you to identify when something is off with your partner, when something is off in the environment, because oftentimes people will be in a mood or in a headspace or in an emotion and they'll be like, well, why don't you just tell me? Well, studying how the brain works psychologically when we're suffering through any kind of trauma or any kind of deep emotion, that part of our cognitive function is either disabled or cut off. So the way we usually talk, we can't talk like that. I always tell people, look at it this way. Imagine if a person was drunk. You don't expect the same kind of conversation from a drunk person as you would if they were sober.
That's a fact.
Hormones can hit your body the same way, and you can be under the influence of a very heavy hormone or very heavy emotion, and it starts to impact the way that you think, reason, speak, engage with people. And so recognizing that if I see somebody and I see them slurring, like they're probably drunk. You know what I'm saying? If I come home, you know what I'm saying, see my partner and they're more on a silent and I know they're a talker, my response isn't, what's wrong with you? My response is like, oh, they probably dealing with something right now. So before I start asking a million questions, before I ask, is dinner ready? Before I ask, is we getting it in tonight? You know, before I start asking, did you do X, Y, and Z on the to-do list? Like, babe, have a seat. Let me hold you real quick. What's on your heart? What's on your mind? How you holding up today? You know what I'm saying to you? It's that kind of intelligence that helps to repel the hardness from the relationship that everybody seems to be suffering with.
That's a fact.
Well,
what'd you say?
I said, was that our check-in or?
No, that was I did my check-in. You have actually not checked in yet. So yeah.
Hold on. Let's look for Mama D. What's up, Mama D? Oh, we love you, Mama D. She said causes issues when their head is still at work. They can't bring that stress and drama home. Man, they can, and they do.
And then as a partner, do you create that safe space for them to come home and kind of vent to you a little bit? Janae made a good point the other day. Like, we need to set aside time slots to where, okay, we may talk about work and may come home and vent if we need to, but after that time is up, we move on with our night and try to have a positive night. And I think that was a good idea, because it's easy to come home, man, this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. Then she complaining, well, this happened and this. Okay, that's the environment we're starting to create for our night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the space should be created for your partner to be able to kind of come home and vent and say what's on their mind if they had a bad day or whatnot. But I don't feel like it should be to the point to where it's affecting the environment.
So this goes back to who you choose to marry anyway, who you choose to date. You know what I'm saying? If you are dating someone who on the date showed you that they were a complainer, like I had breakfast today with my mom and one of her friends that she's had forever. I've known him the whole time I was growing up, and he was talking to me about the traits you struggle with with your partner, like when you're dating them. Said in the marriage, they just get magnified. You know what I'm saying to you? So if they were a complainer on the first and second date, that doesn't go away because they get a new title. Like that, those kind of things, if going unchecked, if whatever you're doing consistently, you keep getting better at. And so they're level expert complainer, and you can't be mad at them for walking in the same spirit they've been walking in since you met them, just because now you want something different. Wow. But going back to what Sarah D said, like, they bring that stuff home. It's a shared responsibility to create that environment where it's peaceful, it's safe to talk about, or it's like, yo, let me just leave this at the door. You know what I'm saying to you? Whatever you guys agree upon, like it's not just all you just trying to. You can run a bubble bath, cook the meal, invite them to sit down and rub their feet, but that person still has to take responsibility over what they're going to focus on.
That's a fact.
And you can doll yourself up, bathe, put on the perfume, the dress he likes and everything. But if that man is struggling to see you in your true value because he doesn't think about you throughout the day, you can't dress yourself up enough to override his lack of setting himself up to see you. Like, I mean, premarital counseling, they said that man come home, all the woman gotta do is rub up against him, he in the mood. Easy work. They said that, well, with a woman, if you want to have sex that night, like, you got to start texting her as soon as you leave the house. Like, you got to be wooing her and sending her messages all day long. They said she like a crock pot. She a slow cooker. So you got to be sending, hey, I love you messages, and like, what you gonna, like, giving her that attention all day. And so by the time you get home, bing, she's good to go, right? And so a lot of that is our responsibility. If you're in a dating phase and you're really liking someone, you should have alarms set on your phone to check in on that person, to pray for that person, to think about that person. When you got downtime, you know what I'm saying? Like in my downtime, I have a specific album for me and my lady, and I'll just scroll through the album. What that does is it keeps me in remembrance of the things we've been doing and the fun that we've been having. And oh man, like, oh yeah, she's a lot of fun, man. Oh man, we had these great conversations. Like, oh, she's beautiful. Because if I don't tap in to these moments that we've created often, they will drift away. Yeah. Present life will override that. So it's my responsibility to remind myself, you know what I'm saying, through whatever means I need. You know what I'm saying? It's like every picture on my phone, like, I mean, my screensaver, my lock screen is me and her, or it's her. It shifts between the two. So I'm being mindful of her, and I'm remembering, like, yeah, man, God blessed me with that, because a year ago I was doing a lot of things by myself. You know what I'm saying? A year ago I was praying for and wishing for, but now that I'm walking in a promise, you know what I'm saying to you, let me behave that way. But if I constantly forget that I'm walking in a promise, I'm going to devalue the thing that I've been praying for. And, you know, and now the relationship is harder than it needs to be.
Harder than it needs to be. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
This part is tough, man. I hear you, Mama D. She said, not if they start to take their frustration out on us. We were home waiting and ready to love them, but they're too angry to receive any nurturing or loving we wanted to show them. I mean, you know, we don't really start the show that way, but man, this resource, you know, I have another resource too that I want to share at some point. But even for things like that, you can reach out to 988. 988 is a good resource to connect and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Thinking about family therapy, or if I want to learn better ways to engage with my husband who is highly stressed. And it struggles with some emotions. Like, you can reach out to this number and they'll give you the proper resources that can help you help yourself while engaging with them and help you connect with them to get them connected. You know what I'm saying? With something that can help them. My friend just gave me a great I'll have it ready for next podcast. She gave me a great reference for like family therapy. Like these are when therapy stops being so taboo and it starts to become like a basic toolkit that every family has, we're going to see a lot more ease. We're going to see a lot better communities. We're going to see like a lot of cultural things that are curses being broken off the basic, like, yo, I go to therapy like I tithe. Like it's just a practice that I'm engaged in consistently.
Yeah. That's crazy because Denham already has, because I feel like because he's seen what therapy did for me and the way I talk about therapy and the way Jay talks about therapy. He when after our couples therapy the other day, he's like, well, when can I get back in? I want to get back in too. And he's been saying that for a few months now. So just for him at his age to understand the value and even the need, you know, for that tool is a good place to start. So because a lot of people, you know, especially with young children, oh, my child don't need therapy, or they just this years old, or they still young. They're kid. I hate when I hear kids are resilient. Yeah, they are, but that doesn't mean that they need the tools to be able to get over certain stressors, because kids have stress too. Kids go through things too. Even we may think it's small, but you know, a kid that goes to school with dirty shoes and gets picked on every day, that's doing something to them on a subconscious level that as a parent, you may think, oh, he'll get over it. That happened to me. I'm fine now. But you know what I mean?
But is you?
Yeah, but is you though? Serious. Yeah, man. So your check-in? Are we not?
Yeah, I'll finish my check-in. Man, so me and my lady, we did finish premarital courses. We did finish our premarital courses. Shout out to us for finishing. Real low-key, I was nervous, man. My mom's friend told me today premarital counseling isn't intended to help you guys bond.
That's good. That's really good.
That's not the point of premarital counseling. He said if it's real good counselor, it's not intended to help you guys bond. It's more of an exfoliant. It's supposed to irritate you enough to bring things to the surface that you've hid very well because you weren't having certain conversations. Now the surface, and there's a moderator there helping you to, or showing you how to have a conversation about these things. Now you're getting answers that really help you verify if I do is the answer that you still want to give. So it's good, man. And I told you, man, you already know a few years ago, I went through premarital counseling in a different relationship and we didn't make it through because like he said, because it did what it was supposed to do. It exposed kinks in the armor, or the lack of integrity that you couldn't really. This was great. What you guys have is great for where you are, but you don't have what it takes to build a life together. And I think that if people stop looking at it like this person has to be toxic or poison, just what we have together isn't strong enough or isn't wide enough to build the vision that we both have, then that's what it means that, oh, this wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's a fact. I like what EJ said. He said, happy wife, happy life. Nah, happy spouse, happy house goes for the both of us. And I agree with that. I've always that happy wife, happy whatever, however you say it, it's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Even though I'm the type of dude that, you know, if I got a queen at home, my wife, the person that I'm with, I want to do everything possible to add as much happiness to her life as possible. But I do. It goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be the man just, I'm going to do everything I can and everything in my power and working itself to the bone and damn near driving itself crazy to do all these things, because eventually what will happen is the man will become resentful. Like, okay, I'm doing all this thing, but what am I getting? Like the video we showed last week of old girl on the cruise. She like, if you can't give me the wedding I want, then this shit over. And he like, what you mean? You
marry me or you marry my wallet? Like,
right. And you don't want your partner to ever feel like that. So it's very important to always realize, like, yeah, a happy wife is great, but a happy husband is also great.
Man, and a happy God is the greatest.
Come on now.
Listen, speaking about that, being frustrated in your relationships and being frustrated in your marriage and want to call it quits. Last episode and the week before that, we were talking about divorce, and people were talking about prenups.
Yeah.
We were talking about divorce and prenups, and people were like really against prenups. And I remember telling, what's the point? You don't trust your partner. And so I was having a great conversation about the purpose of prenups, right? And there was like, this is in place for, if the marriage was to fail, or if other things, it can be a safeguard against other things that you're working on temporarily, and you can dissolve of it. But they said that if you have so many questions about prenup, those questions should start in the questions you should have about the vows. They said that if a prenup isn't necessary, then neither are vows.
Explain that.
So they were saying to the effect that if you're telling me I'm making this vow that I promise to love, cherish, obey, are you telling me that this is what I can expect from you, and if you don't give me this, then it's a violation? Then we can break this off. We cannot do this. They said sometimes you got to look deeper into what is the purpose of the vows if you're going to question what's the purpose of the prenup.
So the vows, the way I perceived it, just in scripture and the way I've heard it, the vows are not to my partner. The vows are to God. I'm making these vows to God about my partner. So the prenup has nothing to do with God. The prenup is in case this don't work out, I want to make sure XYZ happens or doesn't happen.
And it wouldn't work out because the person didn't keep their vows
that I made to, but it wouldn't work out.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. But I'm saying this did put a kink in my. I was like, we got to explore this.
No, we 100% do. We 100% do. But I still just feel like, it's the vows that I make. It goes back to what you always say. If you're not prepared, make your own vows if necessary. Because if it's certain stuff in these traditional vows that you don't agree with, like I'm gonna love you, whatever, how it goes better than I do.
Yeah.
If I don't agree with all of these,
till death do you part.
If I know that if you get sick and you got some kind of terminal disease and we can't be together sexually, and I'm gonna just have to live in abstinence until you die, and I know I can't handle that, don't say it. Make a different vow. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. But so what practical, and I'm honest because Eric is we vibing right now. He said this is deep, brother D. I'm catching the eargasms over here. So check this out. Let's talk about this then, because usually the vows sound very airy and fanciful, and they're just big and luxurious. Like I'm going to do this and do that. What do practical vows sound like? If the vow traditionally says, I vow to love you through sickness and health till death do us part, for richer or for poor. Just that segment alone. Mm-hmm. What does a practical and honest vow sound like? Because that says I'm going to love you through these things.
So
that's the expectation.
Now that we're having this conversation, what's crazy is it does say that I'll love you through these things, but it don't say I'm going to stay with you. I can love you and not be married to you.
Lord Jesus.
I mean,
I got to look to make sure we're getting this right. Let me make sure I don't get too excited. We're not saying it right. Oh man, this is rough. It says so. Traditional vow says, in the name of God, I, Donovan, take you, the wife to be, to have and to hold this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer and poor, sickness and health, to love and to cherish until death do us part. My solemn vow. So it says to have and to hold from this day forward.
Yeah.
I'm with Kenny. Listen, the vow needs to say from a practical place, nigga. I'm gonna try to, like, at best, like, because you listen, man. We human, right? Take your hat off because it's time to sweat.
Right.
We human, right? You know what I'm saying to you? So it's not in violation for the other person to be like, yo, this is what you promised that you would do.
Right.
And like, even though you're saying you promised to God, nigga, I was witness to you promising to God that to have and to hold me through all things. And now you're saying you're not going to do that. Herein lies the reason for a prenuptial agreement. If at any point you decide those vows too much for you to continue to hold on to, this is going to be a safeguard in case you decide to abandon ship.
So should that be in the vows too? Should we add that?
What, the prenup?
Yeah.
Oh, what I just said?
No, should we say that in the vows?
It's interesting.
Now, because we got all the good stuff, but if this don't happen, I want you to know that you're going to leave with what you came in with, and I'm going to leave with what I came in with.
So after my lady says these things to me, to having to hold to death do us part, and I'm gonna say,
Beautiful. It's so beautiful.
I'm say I love you. And in the event that you aren't able to
listen, if we, why be half honest, right? Why be half honest? You know what I'm saying? Why?
And in the event that you're unable to keep these vows, I will show grace. That's my vow, right? And then she comes back to me. And in the event that you decide one day not to show me grace, I'm going to show you grace. And then I come back to her. And in the event, and so I think that this goes back and forth, because what we're saying is that my hope is that I rise to every level of a spouse that's needed for this marriage to flourish.
Which is great.
I need to make sure that we both know and understand in the vows that we're not married. I don't even want to say angels, because they fail. I want to make sure we're saying, like, what am I actually committing to, baby? I love you today. And my hope and prayer is that every day I work with God on learning how to love myself better, you better, him better. That is my dedication. On days where I'm missing it, understand that it's still my heart posture. And on days where it doesn't look like I'm trying, it's still my heart posture. So call it what it really is, because that's the reason why some people end up being upset and frustrated and butthurt, because you promised.
That's it. That's it. And to me, before you, and this is why premarital counseling is so important, because to me, going back to that video that we saw at the end of the last week's show, you know what I mean? We gotta get to the bottom of what it's take, because she was like, you told me you promised me you would take care of me. What does that actually look like? Yeah. Because for him, he could have been like, well, I didn't know taking care of you meant spending $50,000 on a trip or it was over. I thought that just meant, you know what I mean? Maybe some bills, maybe shelter, maybe, you know, because a lot of these people are agreeing to these vows, not even knowing what they really agree. It sounds good. It's beautiful. I'm in tears. She looks so beautiful. He looks so handsome. Oh my God, the day is perfect. And then you get home and then they holding you to the standard that you don't even know you're being held to.
I'm going to tell you just like this, bro. Divorce happens mostly because people aren't discussing the fine print.
Yeah, buddy.
People are not unpacking the details of the vows. I feel like this is why divorce is happening. Usually it's two people, like you see people who were once in love, now they're in divorce court or they're with their lawyers and they can't even look at each other. Yeah. That's deeper than you didn't keep your vows. I'm offended at something you did. Why am I so offended? Part of that is my responsibility, because we didn't take time in our love space to really unpack and deal with the reality of like, yo, what happens if there's days that you don't love me? How do we navigate that? You know what I'm saying? What happens if, you know, these vows you want to make that, you know, you just decide to not keep them one day? What do we do in that space? And I don't feel like that's what premarital counseling, though some of good premarital counseling has you address those questions. Now, you and your partner in that premarital counseling and choose not to dig into the details of those things, that you're doing yourself a disservice. Some people don't want to talk about it because it's taboo. I don't want to mention it. I don't want to think about it. Stop thinking about, I don't want to bring up the word divorce, and simply say, let's talk about the details of our commitment.
Yep. I think that's good. I think, you know,
Mom said that sounds like a great vow. I promise to try.
Yeah.
It's my heart posture.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we all human, right? I mean, and it's some things.
Beginning for me. At the beginning of the day, I wake up human.
so listen, at some point, everything though can't be a try. It's some things you do because you know that's what you're supposed to do. You don't do because you know that's what you're not supposed to do. I don't think everything has to be a 12-step program to where I'm trying to do. Okay. Listen.
Okay.
You knew what you were supposed to do. You knew what you wasn't supposed to do. You made a choice.
And I agree with what Ken said. People don't take vows seriously. I mean, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm not even gonna read the rest of it yet. I think that alone, when you go through these premarital counseling, they talk about the reasons for divorce. The big two are sex and finances. Then they go to the three is in-laws. But I think that the number one is that people are making bogus vows just to sound good and poetic. And two, they don't take them seriously. I think those are the reasons people are so offended, that they believe that divorce is not only the only option, divorce is the only divorce is, I want to call it like the only acceptable penalty to what that person just did. I think that sometimes people are choosing divorce as a way of punishing that person for what they did. That's how offensive it was to them. And again, going back to it, a lot of that is on you though.
100%. 100%. I also feel like people go into marriage knowing that if it don't work out, I just get a divorce and do it all over again.
And that's why I told y'all, like you said, I believe in it. I believe that divorce is real. I believe that people are exercising it. I also believe that it exists in such a high rate. And they talk about it, you know, in certain environments, certain religious structures or whatnot, because too many topics are taboo. Let me tell you what the premarital counsel I just went through, and I love the group that I went through it with. They said that one of the main reasons for divorce is sex. And then they said also that sex is a taboo topic that we have to be careful to talk around prior to marriage. And I said, if it's the number one or number two reason for divorce, how can it still be a justifiable taboo topic that people aren't willing to discuss? Maybe that's the reason. And they're like, you're right. And so we kind of dove into it and started having these conversations. I love the lady and the man. Well, actually, it's like 2 or 3 couples that were leading our premarital counseling. They separated the men from the women, and we went and had some real honest, raw conversations. You know what I'm saying to you? And I think that that's what's necessary, because the reason sometimes these discussions have so much power to break up a marriage is because so much of it is in the dark. We're not discussing it in public forums in a way that people can get informed.
Outside of in a public forum, we're not even discussing it with each other. We're not discussing it with our own partners. Man. We got people getting married with deep, dark secrets and issues and trauma and all this stuff, and we're not even opening up to our own partners about it, or we're not getting the help that we need, like EJ said, to try to even unpack some of the baggage before we even get into the marriage. And to me, that's pretty damn selfish. That's not, to me, that don't sound like love. If I'm gonna hide all this because I don't want her to know I love her so much. I don't want her to leave me. So I'm gonna hide all of this stuff. I'm gonna pretend to be this type of person, and then I'm gonna marry her and make her fall in love with me, and hopefully I can get this stuff together. Like, come on, man.
Listen, this is why you need the right moderators and guides to help you in your pre-part, right? The pre-part of marriage. Like, I'm telling you, the group that I was with, man, we were discussing anal sex. We were discussing masturbation. We were discussing sex toys. This is a Christian premarital counseling course, and they thought it important enough for us to discuss these things. We discussed having sex when you're on your period. Yeah. We discussed if you bring other people into the room. We discussed if you bring porn into it to keep it exciting. Like, they had those conversations. They initiated those conversations for us to have with our partner, man. I'm telling you, you got to go to the right places, man, to get the right things unpacked. And then don't be so headstrong that if you find data that doesn't work for you, you're not willing to step away. Some people are like, we'll just work through it. We'll just work through it. You can't even talk through it. How in the hell do you expect to work through it?
Because we love each other. What you mean? We in love.
What's love got to do? Got to do with it. If you, I mean, yeah, love, as we say love, not talking about God is love. We just talking about what this other emotion that I'm feeling.
Right.
Honestly, what does that really have to do with it? What's that got to do with the work, the conversations, the details? Anyway, I'm not as hurt as she was when she was singing that song, but yeah, wow, really, Ken? Is that what you call it? Under the cherry moon?
I can't stand this nigga here. KD.
You know. Listen, don't be back there playing with the devil's penny. I'll tell you that right now. That's
ain't no catch up on the taco. Wow.
Yeah, we should probably start the show at some
at some point. Yeah.
At 8:45. All right, man.
That's a legit topic, though. Real talk.
I think that my mom even said it, like, 2 things we need to continue to discuss is that divorce conversation, which I'm happy we got a chance to dive into, and what she said, no deposit, no discussion about dating. Since you ain't about what you bring to the table. And for those of you who weren't here, our discussion started with talking about like entrepreneurially. We don't have discussions with potential clients until there's a deposit put down. Deposit lets me know that you're serious.
Yeah.
We talked about how can you bring that into the dating space? What must a person show up with to help you see that this person is serious? This is somebody I should take serious. Is there anything you can bring, say, or showcase in the beginning that will be like, okay, yeah, this is not going to be a waste of my time because this deposit is non-refundable. Some people said, yeah, you got to bring something of true value and make an exchange. Because my grandfather said, you ain't got nothing invested, you ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? If I can just date you for free, if I can just show up and just spend time with you, you know, off a word, off of some good chemistry, off of some good flirting, I'm about to get access to your most valuable asset, which is time. Ain't no requirement for me to get that. Give me all of it.
Misused.
Fill me up with all your time because I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to provide nothing, prove nothing, give you nothing in return. Sometimes we need to have no deposit, no discussion.
Yeah.
We got nothing to discuss. You know what I'm saying to you? I think you're interested. It's a lot of people. Listen, I'm a life coach. There's a lot of people I would love to life coach, but I ain't giving it out for free.
Man, come on.
Because as much as I may want to life coach them, they may not want me to life coach them. And a lot of people that you want to date will go on dates with you and they don't even want to date you. Think about that. They'll go on the date with you and don't want to date you because there's a benefit for them just going. They don't have to even want to be there.
Yeah.
They get that meal. They get that. I'm not going to be alone tonight. Like it's all these other benefits, but they're not, because dating is not just going out with somebody. Dating is the intentional effort of collecting data on someone to see if you could potentially build a life with them as a partner. A lot of people ain't on dates trying to collect no data, don't see you as potential partner or nothing. They just didn't want to be alone tonight. And in those cases, you're on a date and you think you're on a date and you're really just a call boy or a call girl.
Yeah.
You think you're on a you think you're on a date, they're just here for a good time. Good morning.
Yeah.
Dating equals free food in 2023.
Damn. Wow.
Jesus. You are so McJellin stupid. I asked you how much. Come on. What's up, Sonia? How are you? That's my friend.
Yeah.
Little. That's my friend Little. She is probably one of the most kindest, sweetest people I know. Like she came down, hung out for a little bit. She met everybody at the beach, at the park, at the lobby. Like she just makes friends. Just like people are just like drawn to her. She's super sweet. Anyway, she said time is more precious than gold. You got to understand how valuable your time is, because time, if given enough time, that does start to equal access and influence. And so you're just imagine hanging out with somebody repeatedly over all this time and they begin to have an impact, influence over your emotional state because you believe you're investing in a potential future, and they're there for a totally different reason, man.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't really understand. Yeah.
Attention versus intention. Jesus.
Yeah. We
Oh, let's put this up. My mom said some guys will meet you and have a 1 drink limit, not spending money until it's established we're dating. You know what? I got the perfect video for this, bro. You ready?
Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it.
Listen, this is how we're gonna start the show tonight with a video. Finally, listen to this.
A healed man won't chase you. He'll pursue you. And you can feel the subtle difference in that, is that you feel him. And when you come to him, you feel that strength in him. You feel that power in him. You feel that resolve to where he's drawing you in from his healed masculine energy. And there's a safety that you feel in that. There's a safety that you feel in that because you found safety in yourself. You found confidence in yourself, so you can spot it. When you find true love, true safety, and true confidence within yourself, you could spot it in another human being. And there's still this dance. And then little by little, it just starts to get closer and closer, closer and closer until you fall. That's why it's called falling in love.
Oh, from the gate.
Yeah.
So you think that healed men out here chasing, huh?
So I mean, see, and this is what I mean about being careful what we listen to, because it sounds good and he sounds very intelligent and it's all, it gives you the feels and everything. But at the end of the day, I was the most unhealed person ever, making women believe that I was healed. Like, I wasn't chasing because I was in the mindset I ain't have to chase you. I already know you coming to me. Like, I can blink and you'll be over here, like, with no problem. It was never a need for me to chase. I wasn't healed. I just knew the type of guy I was and what I could get out of any given situation.
Let me ask you a question. Were there certain women that you targeted because you knew that they weren't healed?
In some cases, yes. In some cases, yes, but it didn't matter. you know what I mean?
Even the healed women couldn't recognize the unhealed part in you.
100%.
Sheesh, that's rough. Well, the master of the arts. No, but I'm just saying though, like it was I just can't really vibe with that video because I know the type of guy that I used to be, and I know maybe he's right, but you don't got to be healed in order to get that same kind of reaction out of a woman. Ken said, I was raised not to stress, no dress. Not even a summer dress, bro. Who raised you? Because that's good. What Shaolin monk did you?
Or a pimp. It was either a pimp or maybe it was a Shaolin pimp. I don't know.
Well, you know, that's why they come from the Himalayas. You know, the real players come from the Himalayas because that. Yo, that sounds like Gary is definitely a pimp from the Himalayas. That fits his MO. Yikes. All right.
Yeah, so that was just my take on it.
Man. All right. Romy Rome in the hat. Watch your mouth. Interesting. Okay, so let's keep moving then. You know what I'm saying? Let's discuss this one. Oh, you got something?
No, I wanted to hear your take.
Oh, on the video? Well, see, you destroyed everything I was believing. So he said that healed man ain't gonna chase. So my whole conversation was going to be around the subtle differences between being chased and being pursued. I wanted to have that kind of conversation. Like,
let's still have it though, because it's a conversation worth having.
Listen, I was ready to shut it all down. What do you think is the most significant verification that a man is pursuing you, not chasing you?
I don't feel like a man should ever pursue me. So don't know what type of show you think this is, but it ain't that type of show.
Is there anybody who wants to come on and participate in a live relationship podcast with me? I found myself without partner on this show, without willing participant. Is this unruly Negro here? Nigga, come on. You understand what I'm let me use my literal words. You're right. That you know what, this is my bad.
Did you say literal? Literal? Did you just say literal?
Literal.
Oh, okay.
This nigga. Do you want to be offended tonight?
Looking for it, huh?
All right, what you say to me, nigga? Jesus, man.
Let's get it.
All right. So what is the subtle difference between thank you, McJellen. McJellen says she'll come on here with me.
No women.
Well, there's that. I'm trying to think for myself because I've definitely pursued and chased. I think that the subtle difference for me and how you know which one is actually happening. You can jump on the answer if you get something. I'm really trying to think through this.
Okay.
Or an audience, what do you guys think is the difference between a chaser and a pursuer? Wait a minute. Why? That's our thinking music. Jesus. What is the difference between being chased and being pursued?
I feel like when I hear That music is hilarious. I feel like when I hear chased, I'm running from something. Like how you see in scary movies when they're being chased, they're usually running from whatever is chasing them. You see what I'm saying?
What's the difference in the man though? His behavior.
When I hear chase, I feel like it tends to be a little bit more aggressive when I'm chasing as opposed to when I'm pursuing. You know, pursuing to me sounds like I'm really trying to get to know you. Like I'm not just all of a sudden or off top trying to get in the sheets or off top just, you know, with the foolishness. I'm really like trying to get to know you, trying to understand the type of person you are, this and that, or even trying to understand what it is you want, because you may not want to be chased or pursued.
All right, so check this out. This is good. We're gonna break it down to what is on a first date. How do you know if you're being chased or being pursued? Ali said that in my mind, chase equals sexual in nature, pursued equals my character and intellectual discussion. Ken said that chase is sex, pursued is long term. So on a first date, you can verify if a man is chasing or pursuing based on the questions that he's asking, based on the conversations he's initiating, based on how he dress, based on where he take you. These are good things to think about. What you got, Mike? I'm waiting for you, the audience, to jump in on this one because so Ali says she knows in the first 60 seconds, but for the men, how do we know if we're chasing or pursuing?
I feel like the chase for me is dang, that is good. Sheesh.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you know, when you hear, oh, no thanks, I'm not interested right now, or I don't want to be in a relationship, or that I'm not looking for anything right now, but yeah, you keep going after it in hopes that you'll either wear her down or she'll come around, or I know she's saying that, but yada yada yada. Again, I think the pursuing is where, you know, you hear that answer, you're like, okay, cool, I'll take a step back. If you ever change your mind, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think the pursuing is just not as aggressive, not as like pretty much ignoring what she wants. I'm chasing you because you what I want. Forget if you want me or not. Forget if you really want to be chased or pursued. I'm going to chase you because this is something that I want to do.
I got something.
Maybe even more selfish.
I got something. Pravina said, what's up, Did? She said, can we go a bit deeper? How does race, religion, backgrounds, credit score, etc. decide who pursue? Oh, she said it. She wrote it again. Let me, yeah. Decide who pursue.
Let's answer the first question first, though.
This is what I'm thinking, though, bro. I'm thinking that when you're being pursued, or when I've been pursuing someone, the questions I asked were around things like why things. Actually, no, I have it in my phone. I have the actual questions in my phone. Go ahead while I find them.
Yeah, why you looking for that? So it says here, a pursuit is more of a longer term. Some people pursue a career, which may mean years of learning. A chase is a burst of speed to catch something as quickly as possible. I'm gonna chase you down real quick. I'm a, you know what I mean?
So I know that I'm chasing and not pursuing if I'm lacking patience.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about how the woman knows. We're not talking about her. We're talking about for our brothers. How do we know?
Yeah.
If I'm not operating from a place of patience, I'm chasing. I'm not pursuing. Maybe.
But that's what I said. You're being aggressive with it. You're not even trying to understand the type of person that she is, or understand if she even wants to be pursued. You just, this is what I want. I want it right now, so I'm gonna go after it.
Okay. So here we go. These are some questions that I had that I came up with while I was praying. And I feel like these are good identifiers between if I'm chasing someone or if I'm pursuing. I ask questions like these. Why would I give my valuable loyalty to you? what do you believe leave and cleave means? What does relationship what does a relationship until marriage look like to you? Were you trained to handle responsibilities that come with being someone's partner? Why would a man need or benefit from being with you? The reason I feel like these are pursuer questions is because they're requiring, they're presenting the person with an opportunity to showcase why they see value in you. I think that a chaser sees value and that's all they care about is what they want. I think a pursuer needs to understand and see that you want in return and why you want in return. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So men, if everything you're doing, what you're buying, where you're going on a date and all that stuff if your effort is to just please her and try to make her feel swooned and try to make her feel loved and feel wanted and feel chosen, and none of your plans has anything to do with verifying if she's into you, you might be chasing and not pursuing. A great part of dating someone is you mutually gaining an understanding, hopefully an understanding of how much this person values you or how much they want to learn about you. If everything is about her, bro, you're chasing. And this is on you, because men usually arrange these dates. We usually create these dates where we're going to go, what we're going to do. And there's nothing wrong with setting it up for you to be able to walk away with an understanding as well, not just for her. Not just opening yourself up to answer a whole bunch of questions and make her feel safe and comfortable, but presenting an opportunity for you to feel that safety and feel that eagerness and that intention from her as well. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm brainstorming.
No, yeah, and not even creating something for you to feel that way. She should be wanting to create that space for you to feel that way, just like I'm wanting to create that space for her to feel that way.
I get that.
Because if I'm having to create my own space for me and create a space for you, like what you doing?
Well, I get that. I get that. I understand that. I'm just thinking, like, just from a man's point, if he's trying to identify if he's chasing or pursuing. Now, this goes back to now what you're talking about is identifying if you're also being pursued. But let's ask this question. Women out there, not even for the men, women, do you believe it's appropriate for a woman to pursue a man? Flat out. We need to ask that question on our social platform.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so you said what? So Jay said she doesn't think there's anything wrong with it, but she doesn't feel like that's something that she's going to do. But what's so funny is I feel like she did pursue me to an extent. I wasn't the only one calling. I wasn't the, but that's what I'm saying. But you did though. It was. I feel like she said, it was mutual. Like she said, it wasn't a one-sided thing. Like I only pursued her, but her initial response was no, not something she would want to do. But I feel like sometimes women think when they hear pursue, that means, oh, I'm asking him on dates. I'm checking up on him. But at the end of the day, that was done in my relationship. It was times where I didn't always call her. I didn't always ask her if she wanted to go out and all this other stuff. But there wasn't any ego and there wasn't any what's the word I'm looking for, D? There wasn't any ego and there wasn't any kind of, well, I like you, you like me. If I want to see you, I'm gonna say, hey, I want to see you, and vice versa, whether it's her saying it or me saying it. Because I think what happens is we get stuck in these gender roles and what society has said is okay to do and not do, and then we end up missing out sometimes. So the woman will sit there mad, he ain't called me in 3 weeks and I wanted to see him and I wanted to, well, why you didn't hit him up and say that?
Yeah,
you missing out. You sitting over there looking silly. Or the dude is like, oh yeah, well, I got this rule. I'm not gonna hit her up. I know I just met her, so I'm not gonna hit her up for. You
talking about
weeks.
The high school 3-day rule before you can call?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Listen. Me and Janae met on a Friday. That Saturday we went out on the date. Like I'm not wait. What am I wait for? I want to see you like right now. I know you just left. I want to see you right now.
There's a self-sabotaging. I'm gonna come back to that. Let me stay in this vein. We asked the question: is it appropriate for women to pursue as well? Amber said either way. Aisha said no. Ali said something interesting. She said initiate if he's shy, but pursue, not sure. I like this right here. Jay said, I'm the responder to the initiator. I can match your pursuit. And then that's what it was. Ken said, that never made sense to me. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because I hear you say what happened to you, Mike. You got a daughter, right? You're going to have a daughter, you have a little girl, whatnot. Would you advise her in the dating arena to pursue the guy that she's interested in?
Advise her to pursue. I'd say basically just like Jay said. I wouldn't suggest that you be the initiator, but if he's pursuing you, and you, like I just said, the example, if he's pursuing you and it's a situation where, you know what I mean, you want to see him, it's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I was wondering if you wanted to get together tonight, go out to eat, go to a movie. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Is there something wrong with saying, listen, I got 2 tickets to Rooftop Cinemas, they showing Purple Rain, will you be my date?
No, not at all.
That is
not at all.
And that's a form of pursuing. So let me ask you, what are some equivalents, right? Because in the relationship that I'm in, right, the first date I took flowers. What's the equivalent? What does a woman bring on the first date that is symbolic as flowers? Yeah,
flowers for me, because I like flowers.
Nigga, bring me flowers. This is interesting. I'm interested in this though, because I feel like, you know, I've heard women say, like, you know, all these men out here, they want to be, they you know, they look a certain kind of way because they want to be pursued.
Yeah.
And then they looked at like, oh, they okay. Let me see. I want to hear some Bible talk. Bible says, be fruitful and multiply, chase. Who decided men should pursue? I think that, from my understanding, it stemmed from a man who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? It gives off the idea,
that the man should be
this one out there looking.
Yeah.
Oh, nah, bro. Listen, kid. So kid said, I think most women don't like to pursue because it makes them feel vulnerable. Nigga, makes everybody feel vulnerable. A pursuer is vulnerable.
And I think that's what women have been taught. You sit back, the man should chase you, girl. You got what you know what I mean? Girl, the woman has what the man needs. You know, that whole philosophy, but that's what's really being pushed.
All right, bro. Look,
I shouldn't have to go and pursue no man. Okay, well, you're also single.
Nobody has to pursue anybody. See, this is the thing. This is why I like my relationship, right? She consistently reminds us that nobody owes anybody anything. I like Bibles, but flowers are good. Nigga, bring in Bibles. Just bring you a Bible. Don't you already have one of those? She's like, yep. And I got flowers too. And I want more. I ain't gonna bring you a whole Bible. I'm gonna bring you a sheet out. I'm gonna rip a sheet out.
That's that Songs of Solomon sheet.
Make it look like a flower. All right. So Jay said the real question is, should a woman propose? If she wants to. That's where I stand. Where you at? Because listen, you can't support some of it and then not support all of it. Come on, contradiction king. Let's get
my traditional son won't let me do it, brother. I don't know what, because to me that's always been something that I've not saying that that's just always been something, whether it's culture has taught me, whether it's whatever, that's always been something I've looked forward to getting down on one knee. That's always been something that I've romanticized, if you will. You know what I mean? And it's probably because what I was taught, what I've seen, what everybody has always seen. You know what I'm saying? Not that can't be broken, or not that it's anything bad or anything, you know what I mean, that shouldn't be done. But for me, I prefer to be the one to propose.
You old picker and chooser, nigga. You just a picker and chooser. Where you want to go with the culture and when you don't. But I know everything they say ain't bad. I get it. I get it. So the question is, like Jay asked, where'd the question go that quick? How many comments we got in here? She said the real question is, should a woman propose? Should she is different from can she? Should she? I don't think I don't think I want to bring should into the conversation for either party. I think that the unique situation that you and that person have will reveal who is best suited for. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I know that's gonna ruffle feathers, especially in the Christian world. But
I like that though. But that's legit. That's legit because I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to the couple, right? if we got a couple and she want to propose to him, it's still beautiful. It's still somebody saying, "Hey, I love you this much."
It ain't none of y'all business anyway.
Hello. Hello. Come on,
She
man.
ain't asked y'all to marry her. She asked him.
Come on, man.
And whatever they do from there on forward is their business.
I think Jim Jones' wife. Oh yeah, Jim Jones' wife proposed to him, and it was dope. Like, more power to you.
So my thing is this: when I hear women say, well, I would never. I think for me that's a red flag and it's a turnoff for me. And you might have to have some discussions through things because therein for me lies a very narrow mind, even though it's a strong belief, and some people say it's a conviction. For me, if you're not even open to having that discussion, or even that, for me is that makes me feel I'm scared now that you can't even have this discussion. Like, that's a hard no for me. And I would never. And I love to look at those situations and talk to those people about their lives and how many times they've done things they never thought they would do, and why is it not even open for this to be one of those things? Because God moves in mysterious ways. And when we use never, I've seen people plenty of times have to eat those never words.
Yeah.
And I think that it's best just to at least have the conversation and be like, well, here's why I would prefer for it to be a man. But to be like, I would never, that's problematic to me.
So do you think it's safe to say that in going into a relationship, going into a marriage, that you shouldn't have a closed mind about anything? Everything should be at least able to be a topic of discussion, at least.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if your mind is closed about something, then the reason for it being closed should be pretty solid.
Okay, got you.
It should be pretty solid. It shouldn't just be, well, I just don't believe in that. I don't think that. Like, well, explain to me how you came to this place of like, not, never, not, man, not, dollar, no, not me.
Sheesh.
Like, that's a big statement. I want to know.
No, man, it is.
Tell me the path that got you to take that strong of a stance.
Yeah, that's wild.
And most people ain't got that. It's just, honestly, at the root of it, it's just that, oh, it's not what I want. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It just comes down to that's not what I want. And that's teetering on the line of entitlement. That's teetering on the line of inappropriate expectations. That's teetering on the line of you're living in this headspace that this is all about your dreams coming true, your fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
That's facts.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I got it. You want to run it after halftime?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys.
Yeah, Ken said it right. And Ken been married for 120 years. He said, you better not have a closed mind in the marriage. That's facts. Because your partner going to come with some far out stuff you never thought that you would. And you got to at least be able to talk about it. If we can't talk about it, like, what are we doing? Like, if I tell you like this. Go ahead. I'm
going to tell you like this. The premarital counseling, premarital courses are going to spark certain conversations. And even though my lady and I are done, we committed to continuing to dive into the part because it kind of goes for kind of fast. So there's still conversations that are still pending. You ain't married until you married. You can go through the classes, you can do the proposal, you can plan everything. But until y'all is married, there are still conversations that could be had. That could move you in a different direction. And some people will act like that conversation didn't just happen, that disagreement didn't just happen, that red flag didn't just show up because they're already in the planning phases.
Yeah.
You're about to hurt yourself. Yep. What they say at church, somebody needed to hear it. That was for somebody.
Right. Yeah. Conversation. Yeah. That's good. Indeed. Halftime.
Take it away, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where we like to give you guys a chance to go over to our social pages. That's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Maybe this will help the podcast. If you guys are not following us, please go do so. Like, share. If you guys have any what do you call them? Videos, any posts, any memes you may see, kind of dealing on the stuff that we deal with as far as relationships, whether it be friendships, romance, whatever the case may be. DM us that stuff on our Maybe There's a Hope page on IG, because that's the one I think that we check the most, and we'll definitely try to get it on the show. What else? Any small businesses that you guys may have, that you have yourself or that you know of, a homegirl, a homeboy, you know what I mean? Feel free to shoot that to us too, and we'll try to get it up on here and promote, because we're all about promoting businesses. It don't even have to be small, but if it's yours or if you know the other person, you want to promote it, let us know. And it's free. It's free publicity, right? Free marketing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And when we do it, it looks a little something like this. Hit it.
No. Oh. Here comes
So when we promote a small business on here, or we promote
why is it a different one every week? What are you doing? You are a creep.
When we promote a business on the show, this is what we do. We take a screenshot of it, whatever screenshot you send us, we put it up here so everybody can see it. This one happens to be, I am Michael David. If you didn't know, Michael is also a shirtless model. You can go to his Instagram page, specifically shirtless. He went and got a shirt tattooed on him. That's the best he can do. Yeah, like if you're looking for somebody to rock your clothing, real talk, if you're a brand and you're looking for somebody who is 6'6", and what are your favorite features? Has a smooth forehead. This might be the guy that
forehead for sure. For sure.
If you got clothes, glasses, apparel, go to his page and see how he rocks that stuff. If you're looking to suit men up and have them, understand that it's not the clothes, it's the man who wears the clothes, all that kind of stuff, they say he might be your guy. So go over, DM him. He'll let you know his rates. You know what I'm saying? Throw your apparel on him. Because I mean, hell, you know what I'm saying to you, when people see Mike and stuff, they see Mike, they're already attracted to, like, yo, he's like a walking billboard. Just imagine your clothing, your style, your whatever being on him. You're just getting to be a part of that conversation that he has to have everywhere he goes, because you can't miss him. Call him M66. 6'6", 280 pounds, 85 pounds right now.
Yep.
Equivalent to a Buick. So that's what
man, you were doing so good. You were doing so well. Man, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to buy my brother a coffee this week, boy. Golly, you were doing so well. Man, you tried.
Man.
I can appreciate the effort for sure. I can appreciate that.
Let me say this though, man. We are it's been a while since we had anybody donate. So we say it every week, but we getting pretty low on funds. So if you don't see us for a few weeks, it's your fault. $5 can go a long way. If you can go over to the Cash App, $ maybe this will help. $1, $2, whatever it is. I tell you like this, like we said,
can you give change on Cash App? Can you give change on Cash App?
Hey, no deposit, no discussion. We ain't gonna be in here discussing nothing because we can't afford to stay online. And it's not that we can't just put our own money up. It's the fact that we're doing this for our generation, and we're doing this for our culture. We're doing this for our community. So this is crowd funded. Me and Mike can have these conversations by ourselves.
That's what we do
for free. But if you want to continue to be a part of it, man, just donate to the cause. And the cause is because y'all nosy and y'all want to know this stuff. So we thank you so much for tapping in tonight. You're about to get into the second half of the show. Yes, a Buick. If you see Mike in person, you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right. Strap a baby seat to this nigga's shoulder. All right. If y'all ready to start this.
Oh man.
Oh man. All right. Second half.
Stop laughing. Pookie over there laughing.
Mike, you want to do that video now? Or you want to do it in a minute?
We could do it in a minute.
Okay. Because I got to build up. Build up. We can flow through. All right. So let's flow through it like this. Check this out. This will probably be a quick convo.
You're the most beautiful, funny, loving girl I've ever met. You're perfect. But I want to see if I can try and find someone better. You're the most beautiful, funny, loving girl I've ever met. You're perfect. But I want to see if I can try and find someone better.
Legit. What's better than perfect?
Super perfect, nigga. Nothing that I know of.
When a brother goes through that lens to say you're perfect, what is he not saying?
Exactly. And that's why whatever he's not saying is why he's trying to see if the grass is greener on the other side.
So that's a legit question, man. I feel like I've been in that situation before. You might have people in the audience might have what the question on the table is, what's better than perfect?
I think so. I've been in situations where it was, you're a great girl. You know what I mean? You have great qualities. Any man would be happy to be with you, but it was something missing that maybe I needed, specifically to me. Maybe no other man on the planet may need this specific thing, but I need it. Therefore, I need to find the person that has it to give it to me. And it ain't you. It's not because it's you. It's nothing wrong with you. You just don't have that specific thing I need.
You're perfect, but you don't compliment me well. You can be perfect and not compliment me well for what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You can be perfect and not be partner material. Because I feel like the compliments he gave her was on the way that she's made herself and who she appears to be, and that's great for her as an individual.
Yes.
But something is different. It's a different requirement for a partner.
Yes.
Possibly.
Yes.
Possibly. I'm throwing it out there.
No, yeah.
Wow. So Pookie said, you're perfect, but you're missing my requirements.
Yeah, as an individual.
That's good. That's good.
And that's okay. That's okay.
That'll preach.
Because the question is, how are you going to receive that? Are you going to say, oh, it must be something wrong with me, you must be cheating, you must be out there doing this and that, and you know what I mean? Because have you ever been in a situation where a girl was like, or a young lady was like, you know what, Donnie, you cool, but I just feel like it's somebody out there that's better for me? This nigga said no. Wow.
Who said no?
Oh, I thought that's what you was. Oh, you been in this situation before?
Few faces popped up. I like what Jay said. You're perfect, but I'm not attracted to you. When you were talking, what was going through my head was you're perfectly suited for this vacation I want to go on. You're perfectly suited for, what I want to do tonight. But when I look at my vision for my life, you're not perfect for that. But that doesn't take away from all the other areas you're perfect in. You're just not perfect for this thing. And I think that goes back to what Pookie said. You're perfect, but you're missing my requirements. So if you're missing my requirements, that doesn't make you unperfect. That just makes us
uncompatible.
Uncompatible, maybe.
Yeah.
And so the video said that that's what it's like dating in 2023. And I think that for me, I agree with that. Because I think that people are getting in this time and age are getting to a place of understanding more deeply what it is they need to have the kind of life that they want. And I think that people don't value looks the way they used to. They don't value even integrity and character the way they used to. People are looking for their specific need. I need somebody that has this quality. It doesn't even matter if the culture doesn't value this quality. I do. And I think that we're living in a time and age when people are really understanding what really moves them. And that is what that's what they're holding out for.
And I feel like that's a good thing, because I feel like, back in the day with our grandparents, great grandparents, it was the woman, you could cook, you could have children, cool. You're a provider, you know what I mean? You have a decent job, you bring home the bacon, cool. And that's all that was needed. And a lot of them times, they may have stayed together forever, but they may have been sleeping in separate rooms. They may have, it became a business deal. Like, this is good for business. You do the cooking, I bring home the bacon. Love you too. But now it's like, nah, I got to have more than that. I got to have more than, and I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that. Like, I want a girl to be shaped this way. If that's what you want, brother, go get her. If that's what okay, if she's not shaped like this, then I might have to step out and find a girl that then get what you feel like you need to get for yourself.
When you take into the consideration that life can be, in some instances, very brief for some people.
Yeah.
And if you think about, the amount of time that you may or may not have, who do you want to spend that kind of time with? And I think that it goes down to, like, there are certain preferences. People have certain preferences and requirements because of their purpose and their calling in life from God. Other people is because of the kind of life and the quality of life they want to have. And so you can be perfect on paper, which means that you can look like the perfect person and check all the boxes that people in premarital counseling and your mentors say that the person needs to have this. But if that X factor is missing, they're going to keep looking.
Yeah.
Buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
And you're doing yourself a disservice trying to stay with a person that has clearly told you that you ain't got it.
I'll be like, man, this is good. Yes, like, go find what you need. It ain't got nothing. That don't say nothing about me. Even my mentor told me that compliments and complaints should go to the same box because they're just people's opinions.
Wow, that's good. That's good. That's good. I'm just thinking in my own head, like, wow, yeah.
You can't. I'm not gonna let you gas me up nor pull me down. Like, if I'm confident, it's because of what I tell myself, not because if you say it, appreciate it, but you just verifying what I already know.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to talk me down, I got repellent for that because I know who I am. So whatever you're saying, I'm always identifying it as your opinion, and you're entitled to it. All right. So we're going on this dating stream right now. So that was the first one. How about this one?
Stuff that's outdated. You taking me to a restaurant for the first few dates is very outdated. If we're just meeting up, I don't want to go to the movies. I don't want to go to a restaurant. I don't want to do any of these things as a first date because that's not me getting to know you.
I've got a very simple solution to this problem. Just tell the people you're dating that you don't like restaurant dates. Instead of using this theme as an indictment on men, just tell the people you're dating what you want. If you can't communicate something as simple as this to the people you're dating, what makes you think that you'll be able to communicate when you're actually in a partnership? Closed mouths don't get fed. Speak up for what you want.
So the young lady at the end of the video, her microphone is amazing. We got to see what kind of microphone that was because that was great.
Let me see if I can fix mine to do that. Hold on. Go ahead.
Oh, yours is good as well.
I got options. Hold on. See, I can change the flat and boost it up right there. Take this out, take the compressor up a little bit too heavy, and then now we dealing with that right there. So you see what I'm saying? See, I can make that flat.
ASMR mic right there.
Next cigar right here. We go. Listen, I could probably sing with my set. This like listen. This one I love you. Woo! Might need to change a few more options, but yeah, what were you saying, bro? Go ahead.
That was so funny. Why I laughed in the middle of that video is because me and Janae's first date was the movies. But I asked her, I said, hey, do you want to go to the movies tomorrow? That was her chance. Like the young lady said at the end, that's your chance to say, nah, because I can't get to know you at the movies. But what we did was we went to the movies, and then after the movies, we sat outside the movie theater and talked for like 4 hours. You know what I mean? So we got our entertainment. We got our kind of like a little icebreaker, kind of, you know what I mean? And then after that, we were able to, okay, I've been with you for 2 hours in the movies. We had a good time. We laughed, whatever. Now I'm kind of more comfortable with you. Now we can have the more in-depth conversations that we may need to have.
So we sat in the movie for 2 hours. You let me put my hand on your knee. So what's popping? You know, that's kind of what direction this. Don't want to talk about it. It's private. Go ahead. My bad. None of my business.
Janae was anyway.
Janae was pursuing you, Mike.
Man, I be trying to tell people.
See, Janae was trying to go back to the girls. I got the drums.
Golly. DTG.
Oh,
DTD.
Yeah, I think that I used to be like you, like, no, like a date, movies, is not a good date thing, but it does offer a certain kind of icebreaker, an initiator. That movie could be an initiator, some great conversations to see, and even sitting next to somebody, like it can be, if you know how to read energy or try to fill out chemistry and whatnot, like that can be very telling if you can read that kind of room.
Yeah, for sure. And again, it's I do feel like the guy should ask, hey, I was thinking about going to a movie or going to dinner. What do you think about that? Are you cool with that? Or do you have anything else you would rather do? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, women always want the man, especially on first dates, to be, just be spontaneous and don't ask me. Just okay, but then if I do what I think is cool or fun for me, because I don't know you, it's our first date. I don't know what you like. I don't know what you don't like. So if I do what I feel is cool and it backfires, then it's like the first lady said on the video, like, I can't talk to you. We can't have any good conversation. All of that is this old school or whatever the case may be. Yeah. I just feel like just ask questions. Like nobody wants to ask questions. Like it's okay. I don't know you. So no, I'm not gonna be spontaneous because I don't know you. What is my spontaneity going to do for you?
Yeah.
Because I may plan this whole romantic vibe and all this great stuff, and that may be a turn off for you. You know, So
it's interesting the things that trigger people. Sometimes your kindness and intentional behavior can trigger someone. I've heard this often that people. What? Wow. Jay said our movie was whack AF, but be honest, that was my fault because I chose it. I never choose movies anymore. You almost ruined the first date, Jay.
100%. Because I was looking like,
what was the movie?
Was it Men in Black? Men in Black, like the one with the guy and the girl.
Oh. Did you almost walk out, Mike? Nah, because you wanted her.
I sat through that movie smiling and fake laughing, and
you was the first one to call.
Oh, 100%. I texted her but when she drove off, the first day we met in person, as she was driving off, I'm texting her that I liked her hair. Bro, I wasn't letting that get away. What?
What'd she say when she met you? When she started, like, damn, he tall.
You're tall. Yeah, right. Had her.
I wonder what movie theater he'll fit in.
Wow.
Took you to a drive-in because you built like a Buick. Said, I'm just gonna I would take this outdoors. Gotta go to a rooftop cinema. This tall.
Well, this nigga has room.
Oh man.
So what you think though? Are you well, what do you think? I'll get your opinion.
I honestly I think it depends on the person where you go.
We don't know, Donnie. Like, this first date.
You met them. See, this is the benefit of really being an overthinker sometimes. Think about how you met them. What data did you collect in meeting them? Even if you only saw a picture of them, a video, what could you collect from that to gain an idea of who this person might be and what they might enjoy and what you might enjoy? Don't forget that part if you want to continue to be a pursuer, not a chaser.
There you go. You know
what I'm saying to you? So I think the first date, it becomes a lot easier when you're trying to find something that you mutually would be interested in instead of just trying to impress the girl. If all you're trying to do is impress her, you're chasing.
That's it. That's it.
Full circle.
That's it. Man,
oh man, to get back there.
Culture says go out and spend $1,000 on your first date and do all this other stuff when she may be thinking like, nigga, all I want to do is a cup of coffee and I sit and hang out and laugh with you.
See if you're interested. I want to be locked in a room with you for 2 hours. Somebody said first date should last 30 minutes. That's it. And then give you guys something to thirst and long for. Whatever you can do in 30 minutes, and then just discipline yourself to cut it. And that'll give you an incentive like, man, let me get this second date going. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we're staying on this dating path. Check this out.
When should you start questioning what are we?
Oh man.
No. Tell the girls, the audience.
6 months.
Never. That's crazy.
I think 6 months if they haven't like you.
That's a long time.
No, 6 months is way too long. It's way too long. I would have left by now.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have self-respect and you are unsure 6 months in and you're this person and you're doing relationship things, you're probably being played.
I think a month in. End of the first month.
Yeah.
But it also depends. What if you only went on one date within that month? And they're like busy or you're like abroad or some shit. I'm not even going to put time on it. I'm going to say you hung out with this person. If you start doing non-date activities with this person, like going to the grocery store together, then I think that you need to be like, what are we doing? Because we're no longer courting each other. We're like integrating into each other's lives.
Yeah,
so,
that is true.
Yeah.
That's good.
Great one.
Yeah, good thing I use my powers for good now.
Yeah.
When should
I use my powers for good now.
That was good. That
was really good. Because I had a whole bunch of answers, and then I was like, oh, "Yep, you did it. That's it. That's the only way."
What are we now? Like that is predicated on something significant is shifted by how we're doing us that we need to identify. And like what? Okay, we moved into something new. What is the new that we moved into? Because now, you know, if we're grocery shopping with each other and I'm watching your dog sometimes when you go out of town and, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, this ain't just dating, is it?
That's good. That's
How you feel
good.
about that?
And no, I agree because for me, it takes a lot for me to allow people in my space. So for me, it was, especially since I've had my son, for me, it's when I start bringing you around and my son is present, like I got to start reassessing what, like, okay, because I'm not going to just be bringing women around that's fly by night, or, you know, that I'm not sure that this may go somewhere. Not saying like, oh, I know that we're going to get married and it's going to work forever, but just know that it's going in the direction of something real, then you're not coming around. So when I see myself like, oh, okay, well, my kid is here, but you can come over, or we're going to the park if you want to come, that kind of stuff, then for me, those are flags like, okay, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, I was saying something inappropriate anyway. That's cool.
Cool.
All right. So
what is it for you?
For me, I think the safest way to answer that is whenever you start wondering. Whenever you start wondering, what are we now? You should start asking, because if not, that question gets heavy real quick, unexpressed.
Bruh.
That question will start. If you sit that in your head and only talk to your homegirls or your homeboys about it, or only talk to yourself about it, it's going to start altering how you move, how much you call back, how you respond. Your energy is going to shift because you got a question that you need to ask and you won't ask it, and you're not giving a relationship a fair chance. You're not giving the opportunity a fair chance. It's going to start impacting, and that person going to probably, like, dang, you different and you change, and you're sitting here waiting this whole time for this person to initiate the what are we conversation when they ain't thinking about it. Only you are, so you should bring it up.
That's good. That's good. And so let me ask you this then. So you've had this conversation like, hey, what are we? Are we dating now? Are we not dating now? She said, no, we're dating, or you guys have talked and come to the conclusion that, hey, I just want to date you. And she said, I just want to date you too. Let's be exclusive, or whatever they call it these days. Courting? Are they courting?
Exclusive. Man, whatever they decide, they just words, honestly.
Right. Do you get rid of your single homeboys, or your homeboys that you know, or homegirls that you know that are still out in the street, that's still out partying, or do you then say, hey, I'm going a different route now. We still good, but I can't function with you the way I used to function with you?
I say it like this. My understanding of that, you shouldn't do it because you and that person are exclusive. That ain't married. You don't owe them nothing. You make those moves as a single person. I love this woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm with, right? Yeah. I'm still single. So everything that I do is about me still at this point. I have a love interest. Yeah. But until we're married, there's no vow commitment of how I'm going to initiate and do things. Yeah, we made our own kind of commitments because it's understanding between us. But on the grand scheme of things, like I still have to make choices that work best for me, not because, oh, this person's uncomfortable with this or this person would prefer if I did that. That is a wife's role in my book. That's who gets to determine that. That's who gets to have influence in that area. Because if not, I'm pretending and playing house, pretending to be a husband, letting you pretend to be a wife, and if something hit the fans, I don't have the same kind of protection over me, and so you can really just walk away, and I'll be left stuck, and I opened myself up to you like we were married, and we weren't, and now I'm broken in a different kind of way because I wasn't even in a space to be that kind of vulnerable with you. If I want to be that kind, then go ahead and marry you then. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. And so anything that I do in this space of dating needs to be because I believe it's going to be for my best benefit to like remove myself from certain friends or certain environments so that I can be my best self in that space. Not because, man, I really don't want to do this, but you know what I'm saying, my girlfriend or the girl I'm dating ain't comfortable with it. No.
All right. No. So I think we got a video that kind of it's a funny video, but it's a video that kind of made me laugh. But after the laughing, I was thinking like, okay, should because we all have homeboys, right? Speaking as men, we all have these homeboys that they for the streets, and they're always going to be for the streets. Yeah. And at some point, they tried to get either you was from the streets with them, or they tried to get you to be for the streets. So I'm gonna play the video.
Right here at the block with the homies. Hey, what's up, boo?
Hey, what's happening?
Chop in with us. Where the bitches at, though? Yes, sir. We're trying to kick it.
No bitches, bro. I told you this.
Why not?
Bro, my girl got you on there. I told you that.
Wait, so why haven't you blocked her from...
I blocked her already on my phone, but I can't do that on your account, bro.
What?
She sees everything you post.
Oh.
Remember the last time you was mentioning bitches? I didn't get in the fade, bro. She blacked my eye.
Oh, the homegirl abusive.
Yeah, bro. Abusive.
The homegirl domestic violence.
Yes, bro.
But fool, but your horse will be my horse and my horse will be your horse.
We won't have no horse if we both dead, bro. How the fuck we gonna play that role if we both dead?
Oh, she trying to 187 type shit?
Bro, double homicide. Yes.
Murder was the case?
Murder was the case.
The homegirl death row, but then just leave her, fool. She's probably weird, fool. She's a weirdo, fool.
It's like I'm addicted to this shit. I don't know. I can't explain it to you, bro.
You're addicted to bitches punching you in the face?
It's easier said than done, bro. I can't. I don't know, bro.
Why are you scared of her?
Bro, you would be
Look at your face. You look scared.
Can we watch that one more time, bro? Of course. That was funny, man.
Right at the block with the homies. Hey, what's up, boo?
Hey, what's happening?
Chop in with us. Where the bitches at, though? Yes, sir. We're trying to kick it.
No bitches, bro. I told you this.
Why not?
Bro, my girl got you on there. I told you that.
Wait, so why haven't you blocked her from...
I blocked her already on my phone, but I can't do that on your account, bro.
What?
She sees everything you post.
Oh.
Remember the last time you was mentioning bitches? I didn't get in the fade, bro. She blacked my eye.
Oh, the homegirl abusive.
Yeah, bro. Abusive.
The homegirl domestic violence.
Yes, bro.
But fool, but your horse will be my horse and my horse will be your horse.
We won't have no horse if we both dead, bro. How the fuck we gonna play that role if we both dead?
Oh, she trying to 187 type shit?
Bro, double homicide. Yes.
Murder was the case?
Murder was the case.
The homegirl death row, but then just leave her, fool. She's probably weird, fool. She's a weirdo, fool.
It's like I'm addicted to this shit. I don't know. I can't explain it to you, bro.
You're addicted to bitches punching you in the face?
It's easier said than done, bro. I can't. I don't know, bro.
Why are you scared of her?
Bro, you would be
Look at your face. You look scared.
Yo, son. Yo.
So is that the homeboy that you should still have around? Tap in. Where the bitches at?
So how about this? How about this? Let's not just dismiss somebody based on one of their characteristics. Is it possible that this brother brings other benefits? That's just an area of improvement he needs to work on.
Clearly, I feel like that's legit his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? They probably been rocking together since before he got with old girl. But now
is my man giving him solid advice though?
Why won't you leave weird?
Hey man, it's harder. It's easier said than done.
Domestic violence.
It's easier said than done, fool.
But that's so sometimes I feel like legit. That's sometimes how we feel. Like we love her, we want to be with her, and all this stuff. But and maybe people are saying just leave her. It's not that easy all the time, right? Have you ever been in a situation? So have you ever been in a situation where you knew you shouldn't have been with this chick, But it's just like it's something, whether it's sex, whether it's the type of person she is, whether it's the things that you guys have been through as a couple, where it wasn't easy to just be like, deuces, I'm out, because I know this.
I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna stand on this. It's easy if you actually wanted that. When people are talking to you about it, you be yesing them like, yeah, I know, I get it. No, you don't. You don't want to. If you wanted to, it'd be easy. You don't want to, but you want them to think that you want to, but in reality, you don't want to. You like that. You love it. And it ain't like you fighting it. You are really into that.
I can attest to that.
You can be with someone who's toxic, and that toxic complements your insecurities, and you want it.
We can get off this subject now. This is not where I thought this was going to go. This is not where I thought this was going to go. Golly.
Listen,
right.
That's some real talk. When you want to make your friends believe, like, yeah, I know, I just want to believe her. I want to leave her. I would leave her, but I can't. It's not, because when you are insecure and you're not trying to address it, people's toxic traits caress and shelter and they complement your insecurity in a very unique way. And I don't think we're always aware of that, which is why we don't have the desire to walk away or leave. No matter how much wise advice we get, what we're not saying is that this toxic behavior is benefiting me in a way that I can't even explain to you, which is why my moves here and my stay here doesn't make sense to you.
And sometimes it don't make sense to us. And I'm speaking from a person that was in some wild stuff and and still really can't pinpoint to this day. Why did you stay? Why didn't you, if it was getting out of control, if it was getting abusive, if it was getting toxic, all this other stuff, why then would you allow myself to stay in this situation when everybody around you saw it, and you saw it eventually, and then you still, you know what I'm saying?
I got an answer for you. You ready?
Unhealed childhood trauma manifests itself as fixing others, people-pleasing, codependency, external validation needed, living on high alert, fear of abandonment, deprioritizing your own needs, need to prove themselves, tolerates abusive behavior, attracts narcissistic partners, and or difficulty setting boundaries.
That's why.
This is not about to be one of them shows.
All right.
Damn. That was almost every single box check. That's wild.
Yeah, buddy.
That's wild.
All right.
Man.
I can turn the page. I can hit the corner if you want to.
No, we can stay there and run the video back.
Unhealed childhood trauma manifests itself as fixing others, people-pleasing, codependency, external validation needed, living on high alert, fear of abandonment, deprioritizing your own needs, need to prove themselves, tolerates abusive behavior, attracts narcissistic partners, and or difficulty setting boundaries.
So what's crazy about it is that the relationship initially started off, because I think I've shared this before, and I think that you could relate to this as being a fixer or seeing a project, taking that project going like, I can help fix you. Maybe not in those exact words, but the underlying thing was, I can help. I can help you. I can fix you. And
because if I fix you, then I find worth in my existence.
Exactly. And with this specific relationship, it didn't end with me fixing her. It ended up with her breaking me. You know what I mean? And so that, I forget how the saying goes, but basically, you know, if we got good and evil and you guys are in partnership, only one of two things can happen. Either you become evil or that person becomes good.
Gee whiz. All right.
We can't live in the middle. We can't live in the middle.
All right.
You know what I mean? And in that situation, it was one of those things where, you know, I tried, and tried until, you know, it just, you know, you just got tired of trying, and then that trying ended up with just giving up, and you win type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And so with all that, all those other things that she mentioned, literally every box, I'm just looking back into the relationship, every box was checked, and it became a thing to where literally my sister had to come out here and get me from the house. Like, I grabbed whatever stuff I could grab, and she literally came and got me from the house, and we came back to LA, and I came and stayed with my dad, because it was just like I wasn't gonna do it on my own. Like, we're in the car driving back, and in my head I'm like, you know, or even out loud, take me back. But it's like, and the outside now of it all, looking at, why would you want to go? Why would anybody in their right mind want to go back to something like that? You know what I'm saying? But then hearing that video, it's like, yeah, I get it.
I call it, the way I look at it is, they call it childhood trauma. I know it can be triggering to hear that. What I like to call it is unfinished business.
Yeah.
It's things that I wanted to, or feel like I should have accomplished or experienced as a child that I never did, and still trying to play it out in my adulthood. You know, with the role reversal though, the things I wish my parents would have done, what my friends would have done for me, then it's now my responsibility to do it for others, so that in some way or form I can have an experience with it that will finally validate my worth or verify my identity. And until then, I really struggle to see why I'm important and why I'm needed here, which sat with long enough leads to suicidal thoughts or homicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
We need to know our worth, our value, and our identity in a very deep way, because there's a lot of challenging moments in life that will come directly aimed at those two things, your worth and your identity. And I think that absent, not even affirmation from other people, absent affirmations from yourself and from your creator, some things just, they won't hit you deep enough to hold up against the storms that life is going to throw at you sometimes.
And that's why it's so important not to let anyone else validate your worth or your even your existence, because to me that's what it was. I can't leave this. She's the only person that really sees me as being worth this. I serve a purpose here, whether it's to be a punching bag, whether it's to be.
I've never served a purpose before.
Right. You know, I'm a husband now. You know what I mean? I'm a husband. I have a family. I have responsibilities. And you start hiding behind all of these things that are not even really who you are, who you want to be. But yeah, that need of validation and that need of feeling like worthy is powerful. It's powerful, and it'll keep you in situations that you know you don't need to be in, because it's false. It's not really real, right? That's what narcissists do. They make you feel like, you know what I mean, you're the problem. It's not me. I'm not the problem. I'm here for you. Like, I want to help you. I'm here for you. You're the issue.
This is one of the main reasons why people had a lot of pushback against that video about staying in a relationship with someone who's unhealed.
Yeah.
Because there's a great chance for manipulation or vicarious trauma.
Yes.
You know, and I think that, again, this may not be for everybody, but I think that my understanding and belief is that, you know, if that's something you've been called to, you have divine participation to shield you and help you in that initiative to love that person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's something you can do in your own strength or from your own calling. I do believe that it's something that you need to be called to and have the participation of some supernatural influences to accomplish successfully and not come out worse than you went in.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I'm going to end it like that. Ladies and gentlemen, At the end of every show, we like to give out a resource. My sister sent me another resource called the Warm Line. I'm gonna try to get that ready for y'all next week. But as of today, we do have the Suicide Crisis Hotline 988. You can call this number to get resources to mental health, any kind of mental health resources, group counseling, individual counseling, therapy, family therapy, support groups. If you have addictions or anything like that you're struggling with, you're needing help, or if you know someone who's struggling with addictions or gambling or sexual addictions or anything like that, substance abuse, you can call this number and they can give you guidance on how to best approach them without making the situation worse. That's key. Sometimes our help does more harm than good because we're not educated and informed on how to approach people in those situations. We just want to approach it with a heart full of emotions and an empty head. So get the knowledge you need to have before you approach things and make it worse. Is always good advice. That number is 988. If you don't want to call, you want to go online, you can Google search 988 and they have an online chat option as well. Man. All right. Anything else, bro?
Nope.
All right. We're going to pray it out and get out of here, man. A few minutes early. Just for you, Mike.
You need to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy. Get yourself in therapy. I'm working on my trauma. I'm letting out my trauma. I'm releasing my trauma. Release, 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 release. Let's talk about your childhood. Let me tell you what my therapist says. Sometimes I worry that my therapist doesn't like me. I got a second therapist to deal with my first therapist. Oh my God, the therapy. I think I'm gonna be a therapist. I think I'm gonna be a therapist. I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna be a therapist. When I learn about therapy, I'll have no problems at all. Therapy changed my life and it can change yours. Just use your credit card or your parents or your insurance. Never pay out of pocket. It's expensive. You need to go to therapy.
Jesus Christ! Put on!
You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. That was just for you, man. You muted, dog.
He played the whole video.
The whole thing, man. The whole video. We had time tonight.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna pray out of here, man.
You got it.
Ooh. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity tonight to come and share our experiences, our testimonies, Father God, some things that we've learned from you as an offering to our generation, to our audience, in hopes it may be something that we said they can take and apply to their lives and increase the quality of their life, the quality of their relationships. We thank you as we discuss divorces and dating and communication and trauma and therapy, that as we leave this conversation, that you continue to talk to us in a special way, bringing us truth. Yeah, your Holy Spirit is here to bring us truth. It's called the Spirit of Truth. So we thank you that will come. But we also thank you for a safe place to have these candid discussions where we don't have to be right or appropriate, where we can just be vulnerable, transparent, honest. Thank you for this brotherhood in the place that we can do this. And we pray for everybody out there who's listening. If anybody was triggered tonight or going through something, we pray, Lord, that you meet their need however you see fit. If it's through therapy, or if it's through counseling, or if it's through a loved one, or if it's through a divine encounter with you as they sleep tonight. We are looking to you as the great healer to do what only you can. And we thank you. Send some angel donors over here to deposit to our Cash App so we can stay online. We know you will provide all our needs according to your riches in heaven. So we ain't worried. We're grateful. If they don't, we'll just have a few Sundays off, and that'd be great too. So we thank you for all these things. In Son Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.
2 Chainz.